Cops and Doughnuts in the city of Clare, and I'm standing with
Rhino.
Where are you from, Rhino?
Born and raised right here in Clare, Michigan.
You know Michigan has a medical marijuana law, I'm sure, yes?
Sure, I'm a 30-year police officer.
Well, do you have any opinion on the Michigan medical marijuana law?
I retired last year.
Is it a good or a bad thing? Do you think it's something that's really helping patients, or do you think it might be an excuse just to use marijuana?
You just said it.
So you believe it's an excuse. Right now I hear there's a ballot initiative for the city of Clare to decriminalize marijuana for people 21 and over. You think that's a good or a bad thing?
It really doesn't matter. They can decriminalize it at the ordinance level, and it really doesn't matter. State law is still in place, and so is federal law. So it means nothing other than they get to put a little notch on their thing that maybe they got some attention in one of the small communities of 3,200 people, so relatively small. Doesn't mean a whole lot, no.
I know they're also doing it in Mount Pleasant in the city of Harrison, so I assume that, once again, it's probably not a real big effect for you guys or for the police department here.
None whatsoever. We lived this years and years ago. This is nothing new. There used to be prohibition for alcohol, and we had medical alcohol. It's no different. So,
the country as a whole seems to be going more and more easygoing, I guess you could say, on marijuana. It looks like it's becoming more the norm. Does that concern you in any way that maybe it's going to be legal coast to coast?
I'm not worried about it. No. Nope, not whatsoever.
Do you think if it is legal that it would free up law enforcement to focus on other issues?
Probably not, no. It would generate more tax dollars. It'd be nice to tax it heavily like alcohol is taxed, generate some tax revenue. Yeah, but as far as freeing up police officers, none whatsoever, probably.
Thank you very much, Rhino, for your time.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, we're still here in Clare, and I'm standing with
Taylor Bridson.
Where are you from, Taylor?
I live in Midland.
Did you know that Clare has a ballot initiative that they're trying to decriminalize marijuana for anyone 21 and over?
I was pretty sure I'd heard that.
Do you think medical marijuana is a good or a bad thing in the state of Michigan?
I think it can be a really wonderful thing if it's not abused.
What do you think about legalization for anybody over 21?
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing because I've noticed a lot with the drug wars, drug use has increased.
Do you think that someday soon it's going to be legal in the United States for everybody?
Maybe. I'd like to think maybe it could be because it should be a personal choice, I suppose.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
I'm standing with
Kim Phelps.
Where are you from, Kim?
Celine.
You're up here in Clare County, in the city of Clare. Did you know that Clare is working on decriminalizing marijuana for anyone 21 or over?
Bad idea.
What do you think about Michigan's medical marijuana?
Bad idea.
So you're not in favor for marijuana in any form?
No, I'm a nurse and I know the side effects that cause from marijuana, and I know there's also a medication called Marinol that you can use that's a derivative that is legal, and medication is monitored by physicians.
You see in the United States that we have 2 states that are legal for recreational use. It's a very hot topic right now. Does it concern you that maybe it's going to be legalized across the country?
Yes, I think, yeah,
Do you have grandkids or kids?
both.
Have you talked to them about marijuana and the way that it's changing the culture in the United States?
Oh, yeah, and they know my feelings on it. Very strong.
Thank you very much for your time. We're still in Clare, outside of Cops and Doughnuts, and I'm standing with
Christopher Lewis and Taya
Lewis.
Where are you guys from?
Saginaw.
Michigan has a medical marijuana law. I'm sure you've heard of it. You know anything about it?
A little bit about it. We've got friends that are carriers.
In the city here of Clare, there's an effort to decriminalize marijuana. They're putting a ballot initiative together so anyone 21 and over could possess marijuana without too much hassle. Do you have an opinion on that?
I think it's a great idea.
I agree.
Sounds like you guys don't have a problem with responsible use of cannabis.
None at all. I think if it's legal, it's good for the, taxes in general. I mean, they're going to raise money because of it, so I think it's a great idea to do it. Our forefathers had it when they came into the country. I mean, that was a requirement when they first came here. You had to grow it as part of a cash crop, and that's what they made rope and clothing and everything else out of. So there's lots of uses for it. Just medical aside, I mean, it's huge. It could be potentially fantastic for the state, especially for Michigan. So,
thank you very much for your time. We're standing outside of Cops and Doughnuts, and I'm with
Lena.
Lena, where are you from?
I'm from West Bloomfield.
What do you know about Michigan's medical marijuana law?
Well, I know that the state has approved it, but the federal government still doesn't. They can still arrest you for using marijuana, which I think is foolish.
In Clare, the city that we're in, there's a ballot initiative to make decriminalization, which basically means if you get caught with marijuana and you don't have a medical card, it would be either a simple ticket or no fine at all. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't, but I think it's a good idea. I mean, it's about time. They've legalized everything else that's not good for us, so why not marijuana?
There's actually a few cities. It's going to be Mount Pleasant, Clare, Harrison. Currently, Detroit, Flint, Grand Rapids, Ann Arbor, and Ypsilanti all have those laws. So it sounds like you're okay with legalization.
I am. I'm very okay with it. Not that I'm a user or anything, but, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think it will bring some tax revenue into the state, which we need desperately. And I think the federal government needs to stay out of the state government.
Thank you very much for your time.
This is Skunkworks.